What's up everybody, welcome back to Cop Cars. So I was just editing a video I was gonna post up, but it didn't really contain that much information and not really that much towards the build. Just kind of going over what I did, how to install like the transmission bolts, because they are specific, but like there's forums online to tell you like what bolt goes to where, stuff like that. And I was just watching the video, I'm like, it just makes sense just to go over from what I've done from the last video to now, and then we'll just hop into the interior because that's going to be a pretty lengthy process and it's going to take up most of this video. So let me show you what we got so far on the engine bay. Everything is complete so far other than performance parts, but since we're on the topic of performance parts, let me show you what I got. So this is my TD05 20G. I bought this from BMW Racing on eBay. He just uses the OEM housing, so TD05H housing, Evo 3 turbine housing, and he bores out the compressor housing to fit the 20G wheel in it. So yeah, I mean this is gonna be one heck of a turbo. I'm all about the quick spool, low end power just for street. If I was drag racing, I'd definitely go for top end. So I know you guys are thinking, oh, like it's an eBay turbo, but it's not like your typical junk eBay turbo. Like this guy uses OEM parts, good bearings. Like I was feeling around and this thing feels great. So I am pretty confident that this turbo is gonna be doing a great job and what I'm wanting it for. He states 450. I don't know if that's crank or wheel. If it's crank, whatever, like I just want 400 to the wheel, so hopefully that this turbo can get us there. As far as the passenger side goes, we got the plastic trans cover on, we got the coilover back on, axle is in, control arm tightened up, so I put in a new axle for the passenger side off of Rock Auto, but I did vast amounts of cleaning on the block and the cylinder head because the valve cover is leaking. It's covered. We're gonna powder coat the valve cover, and I want to get the revised lifters because these ones are starting to tick pretty loud. So I'll get the revised lifters and then powder coat the valve cover, clean that all up, and then replace the valve cover gasket as well. Also went ahead and bought some new exhaust manifold hardware. I was an idiot because I bought the 1G and not the 2G. I believe the 2G comes with bigger nuts on this, so on the end. So these are all the smaller ones, but I did clean up the older ones that I had, but I think we'll be fine there. And the torque solution front mount is all bolted on, looks great. EGR block off is on, trans is installed, torque, everything good with the mount, painted, all stuff like that. So we are looking good over there. We do need to put the battery tray and stuff back in, throttle body, elbow, but I need to wait to see what, like when I start filling fluids, because it's only that little amount of space that you have. So I'm gonna wait on that and just clean those up and get rid of the rust, reshoot it with some paint, and hopefully it'll last a little bit longer. Moving on to the driver's side, we got the half shaft installed. You can kind of see it right there. So everything's going good. As far as the swap, I say that now, but I'm probably gonna regret that. I was gonna rebuild that axle. The boot was torn and it was pretty difficult to get off. Like I can't get the auto half shaft off the other one. So I went ahead and just bought a new axle off Rock Auto again. So it's gonna have both new axles on this side. I hope they're strong and I hope they work. I'm sure they will. So I guess we'll see. Let's move on to the interior. It's gonna be difficult because there's not that much lighting. I want you guys to see what I'm doing under there. You can tell my camera is getting super grainy. I do have the GoPro with the mouthpiece, so I will be using that most of the time. And then I'll just put a few lights under there as well. But first things first, we're gonna take out the center console, get rid of this ugly shifter, and yeah, just kind of go from there, take the pedals out, stuff like that. So without further ado, I'm gonna go get the GoPro and the mouthpiece and stuff like that, put some lights under there. I hope it's enough, but I'll do what I can, guys, to give you guys some good content, but no promises with the amount of lighting in this garage right now and where the car is. So I will do my best, that's all I can say, but let's get to it. Okay, so basically there's going to be 3 cables, one for the brake pedal, one for the ignition, and then one for the actual shifter to the transmission. Those need to come out. And you also need to take out the little interlock that's at the bottom of the ignition. So that way when you put in the manual transmission, you can still take out your key without, you know, getting it stuck. So I know that is a big thing, very important thing to do. So as far as getting those cables out, very simple. And then on the brake pedal itself, it's just a lock nut, and then it slides right out, that one cable, and then you should be able to take out the one on the trans by yourself. Now, I believe that's the TCU. I'll have to double check. Looks like another tight squeeze that I'll have to figure out how to get that out of there. If that's the correct thing, I'll do some research. But as far as like the brake pedal, it's not too bad. There's 4 studs right there and then 2 bolts at the top. Just take those out. Take the little cotter pin out of the master cylinder, and the spring, the little retaining spring, I can't even think right now, but it's the big spring that hooks up back here. So I think that's it for the brake pedal. You just want to make room for the clutch pedal, and you want to do all the drilling and stuff. You can probably tell, he has the vacuum boost gauge going through right there, so that kind of sucks. I wanted to make a pilot, like a step, I can't even think right now, a little dent, so it'd be easier to drill with the hole saw. I don't know if he made that hole for the power wire or if that one's already there factory and he just drilled it out. I don't know. And I believe that other hole right there on top is another one that you slide in. So you have to drill those out. That way the master for the clutch can fit in. And then you take out that little piece of carpet. I don't know if you saw, but it comes right out. It's perforated. Just tear it off, and then you'll see your 2 mounting bolts at the top. The most difficult part is going to be drilling these out during the hole swap. That's what I've read all the time. It's always drilling these holes out. So luckily I have a 90-degree drill at work that I can sign out. So I'm definitely going to borrow that, get under here with a hole saw, drill this out, and I'll post the measurement of what hole saw you need. So that way it's easier for you guys as well. All right, everyone, so I went to work and borrowed a few tools, so I'll show you what I got. I'm hoping that this works, because this is the 90-degree drill, which I highly recommend. And then this set bit, it goes to 1 1/8, but on the hole where the master goes through, that looks like it's about 1.5 inches. The other hole, it might work, but I just got another battery and charger. Okay, so unit bits do not work for this process. Just a heads up, you are going to need to buy a hole saw. It's a 1.5 inch hole saw. And so here's a mistake that I made. Okay, so the bottom right hole, the bolt hole where the stud goes, he already drilled that out and it's not lined up. So I'm gonna have to work with that. But the top left, you only need to go as big as the bolt you're putting in. So like as big as that, basically. The unit bit just basically pushes out the metal. It doesn't really cut through it. It just pushes it out. So not ideal for what we're wanting to do. So once again, I am an idiot. So you don't put the master just willy-nilly through the firewall. The clutch pedal has to be installed. Then you have to feed the pin, the stud from the pedal into that empty hole on the master cylinder, and then there's a stud on the master cylinder that has to feed in through the pedal. So you gotta get those sandwiched together, and it's very tight right there in that corner. So it's very helpful to have 2 people, one hold and, you know, keep pressure on the master cylinder, and one person right there underneath the dash kind of screwing in the nuts to that pedal. So just a heads up, it is very tight. Make sure you have someone, otherwise it's going to be a real pain in the butt. All right, so here's how we're looking. Got the clutch pedal looking good, and then we got the manual transmission brake pedal installed.
everything is tightened down. The rod is adjusted for the clutch, so it should be good. We removed the TCU. It's just hold on by 4 8mm nuts. So take that off, and then next thing to do is to run the shifter cables through the firewall and out to the trans. So if you're not running a manual transmission harness like I am, keeping the auto harness, you won't have the reverse lights or cruise control, but I will go into how to get those back with the auto harness in future videos, like creature comforts and stuff like that. I believe those are the only two reverse lights and the cruise control, and then the neutral safety switch bypass. So you don't necessarily want to push in the clutch, because that I've heard that it induces the crank walk issue because it puts pressure on the thrust bearing. So I never push in the clutch pedal. I know it's not in gear, so that's another thing. So those three things will be covered in future videos once this whole swap is done. But for now, we're just getting everything in and hopefully started. So the quality is going to be pretty bad because there's like no light, but we have the brake pedal and the clutch pedal from the manual trans all installed. Everything is hooked up, all the panels are on, installed nice and well. But the best part is that shifter. So I just grabbed the shift knob from an RS from the junkyard. So I want to upgrade to the Gsx'S leather shift knob, but for now it's gonna have to do, just in case. Like, I just need to get this going as fast as I can, check for leaks, stuff like that, make sure that it dries before I start doing cosmetic stuff. But everything is in and we are looking good in here. So it is such a difference, like looking into there and seeing a manual shift knob. It just makes me super happy, not seeing the automatic anymore, and it shifts pretty well. No notchiness, no binding, so I'm hoping everything goes well with it. Like I said, eventually I do want to upgrade like the cosmetic stuff, and then the creature comforts, like I said, the reverse light, cruise control, bypassing the neutral safety switch. Those will be in future videos. I'm gonna have to pull the panels back anyway because there are some clips missing, and some screws missing. I don't know where they went, but you know how it goes. I'm sure I'll find them, but I'm gonna go to the junkyard and just take some screws out of like a junk vehicle there. All the little bolts and clips that I need. But anyways, we'll do all that in future videos. If you guys are doing the swap or you want to know how to do this, let me know in the comments, like questions, anything like that. I will be sure to help you guys, because this is a great feeling, just seeing that shift knob and the full interior just done and complete, not torn apart. Such a good feeling. But anyways guys, I'm gonna go make some coffee. I'm like dragging butt right here. It's like 6 in the morning. But I'm gonna go do that, get ready for the day, and start editing this video. So again, if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments what you guys like to see. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video with the rear differential replacement. Thanks guys, see you later.